What if I told you that everything you see around you, your dreams of fame, wealth, love, and success, might just be shadows on a wall? What if your entire life was spent chasing illusions, without ever knowing the truth? This is not a scene from a movie. This is your life, according to one of the greatest philosophers in history, Plato. Now imagine this. You are born inside a dark, damp cave. You have never seen the sky, the mountains, or even the sun. All your life, the only things you know are the flickering shadows on the cold wall before you. These shadows, mere outlines of objects, become your reality. You learn to talk about them, to judge them, even to compete with others over who understands them best. And you feel proud, convinced that you know the truth. But what if everything you believed was only an illusion? What if your entire world was just shadows of a greater, brighter reality? This is exactly the story Plato tells in one of the most powerful allegories in philosophy, the allegory of the cave. And once you understand it, it changes the way you look at your life, your society, and even your own mind. Plato asks us to picture a group of prisoners chained inside a cave since birth. They cannot turn their heads, they cannot escape, they cannot see anything except the wall in front of them. Behind them burns a fire, and between the fire and the prisoners move people carrying objects, animals, plants, and figures. The fire throws shadows of these objects on the wall. And the prisoners, seeing nothing else their entire lives, believe these shadows are the only reality. They argue about the shapes. They take pride in knowing which shadow comes first, or which shadow lasts longer. They even crown the cleverest among them, the one who best predicts the dance of shadows. For them, truth equals shadow. But then, one day, by chance, one prisoner is freed. At first, he is confused. His eyes hurt as he turns toward the fire. The light blinds him. Reality seems painful, unbearable. But slowly, as his vision adjusts, he realizes the shadows on the wall were not reality at all. They were only poor imitations of real things. Driven by curiosity, he moves further upward, until at last he emerges into the outside world. And here, for the first time, he sees the sun. He sees trees swaying in the wind, the vibrant colors of flowers, the wings of birds painted with light. He looks at the night sky and grasps the vastness of the stars. The universe stretches before him, grand, infinite, and awe-inspiring. Imagine the shock. Imagine the thrill. He had spent his whole life in darkness, chasing shadows, believing in illusions. And now he knows what reality truly is. But the story does not end here. Out of compassion, the freed prisoner feels he must return to the cave. He must go back to rescue his fellow prisoners who are still trapped in illusion. So he descends into the darkness again. But now, after being in the sunlight, the cave feels even darker. He stumbles, confused, nearly blind. The prisoners laugh at him. "Look how foolish he is," they say. He can't even see the shadows clearly anymore. And when he tries to explain the truth, that what they see are not real things, only shadows, they mock him. When he speaks of the sun, they cannot even imagine what he means. Their anger grows. And finally, they plot to kill him, believing his words to be dangerous lies. This is the tragedy and the power of Plato's allegory. Because it is not just a story about people in a cave. It is a story about us. We too are often trapped in caves of our own making. Our culture, our media, our society throws shadows on the walls of our minds, shadows of fame, wealth, status, the perfect relationship. We chase these shadows, thinking they are reality, but in truth, they are empty illusions. We measure our worth by followers and likes, by salaries and possessions, by the opinions of strangers. But how real are these things? How many of us, deep inside, feel that something is missing, that we are not seeing life in its full light? Plato's message is that philosophy is the way out of the cave. Philosophy is not a boring subject locked in books. It is a therapy for the soul, a training of the mind to see reality clearly. It is the courage to question what everyone else blindly accepts. But Plato also warns us, when you discover the truth and try to share it, people may resist you. They may mock you, ignore you, even turn hostile, just as the cave dwellers did to the freed man. Truth is uncomfortable. It threatens illusions. And illusions are what most people cling to for a sense of safety. Yet, despite the resistance, Plato urges us to seek the sun. Because the sun, in his allegory, is more than just light. It represents the source of truth, of wisdom, of goodness itself. It is what gives meaning to life and makes knowledge possible. Think about your own life. What shadows have you been chasing? What illusions has society taught you to worship? Are you ready to step out of the cave, even if it means leaving behind what feels safe and familiar? The journey is not easy. It requires humility, acknowledging that we don't know as much as we think. It requires patience, engaging in deep conversations, listening carefully, questioning bravely. It requires courage, to face ridicule, rejection, and even hostility. But the reward is priceless: clarity of vision, freedom from illusion, and a life lived in the light of truth. Plato's cave is not just a story from 2,400 years ago. It is a mirror held up to each of us today. We are all born in the cave. But we do not have to stay there. The way out exists. And that way is called philosophy, the love of wisdom. So ask yourself, will you remain among the shadows, or will you step into the light?